Hi, and welcome back to Cooking with MoWino. So today I am making a French delicious cold soup known as Vichyssoise. Vichyssoise. However you want to say it, it's delicious. But you can't eat it warm if you'd like. I'm waiting for the summer to make this soup. And of course, for the last 2 days it was beautifully high 70s and sunny, and today it's cold, wet, and rainy. But we're going to make it anyway. So I am drinking a lovely Sauvignon Blanc from the Columbia Valley of Washington State, Barron's Winery. I had the pleasure of visiting there a few years ago with the wine blogging conference, and Barron's is known for their red wines, but I have to tell you, the Sauvignon Blanc blew me away, and it was a sip that I had not forgotten, and all these years later I am still drinking it. And we are going to cook with it too, because I think it'd be a great addition to my soup. So you've seen the ingredient board, so now we're going to compile all of the ingredients and a few extras that you haven't seen, and I'm going to bring you in and we're going to pick it up from there. Okay, so we saw the ingredient board and we have potatoes. This is 2 pounds of russet potatoes that I have peeled and chopped into 1-inch cubes, which equal maybe about 6 cups. And then we have 2 leeks that I have chopped, washed very well, because leeks have a lot of dirt inside their leaves. So I cut them in half, and then I cut each half in half, and then so we had quarter slices, and I chopped those. And then we have 3 cups of white corn that I have taken. I decided to roast my garlic to make it sweeter and more pungent than a few garlic cloves. So we're going to include that. So we're going to start off our process with melting some butter and sauteing our leeks and our garlic and with our wine, and then we're going to go from there. So we have some butter and some avocado oil here, and we are going to put in our 2 leeks. We have a medium heat and a hot pan, so I'm going to lower the heat a bit and just give these leeks a quick introduction to the heat. And we're also going to start off with half a tablespoon of white pepper. Now I have my garlic clove that's roasted, and we are going to squeeze out this delicious roasted garlic. Now to roast the garlic, you basically cut off the tail end, pour some olive oil on it, wrap it in tin foil, and bake it for an hour in the oven at 350. So I'm gonna break up this roasted, beautiful, sweet garlic. And now we are going to add a cup of our white wine, Sauvignon Blanc. And we are going to just let the leeks and the garlic and the pepper enjoy their wine bath for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so our leeks have come up to a boil in our wine, and I am going to add our 3 cups of white corn. It's just the beginning of corn season here. So white corn is one of the benefits of the early summer season. When I was a kid, my grandmother used to only make cream corn when she had white corn, and so it was always a special treat. Otherwise, she just boiled it or roasted corn on the cob when it was yellow. But the white corn, she felt, deserved special attention. Okay, so we're going to let this simmer now for another 2 to 3 minutes so they get all happy with each other, and then I'll bring you back. So I brought the heat up back to medium so that I could get a good boil going on here. And we are going to now add our 2 pounds of cut potatoes. good stir. Now adding 4 cups of store-bought but unsalted chicken broth. Before the pandemic started, I used to make all my own broth, but truthfully, I've been making soups almost every week or every other week, and I just can't keep up with the broth supply. So I've started to buy store-bought broth for when I run out of my homemade urban composting. That is 4 cups of chicken broth, and I am going to add 2 more cups. So 6 cups. I mentioned before I wanted to keep my cobs because I wanted to put them back in the soup. Put them in for the first time so that I can get all of this great flavor. I'll take them out before I start the next step. I am going to bring this up to a boil, adding a little bit of salt, and I'm going to add another another teaspoon, I would say, of white pepper. Give this a good stir. Okay, I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to let it simmer for at least a good half an hour, partially covered. So bring it back. So our soup has been simmering now for 30 minutes, and I'm going to remove the cobs, and you can see the soup has reduced quite a bit, and the starch from the potatoes and the corn have thickened it up quite a bit. These are handy dandy mixer. I'm going to turn it off. Now if you don't have a handheld mixer, all you need to do is basically take the soup out in batches and put it in your food processor or your blender. But this is a handy tool to have. Pureed the whole pot of soup. Now you can do this as a personal preference and take out half, save half, so that you have some consistency or chunks of vegetables or corn. But I wanted this puree because in the tradition of Vichyssoise, it is a soft, not added any cream yet. The traditional recipe requires it, and it also is a recipe where you serve it cold. But what I'm truth and honesty, I don't like milk. So I don't even have milk in the house. I keep almond milk. So I think what I'm going to do is let this cool and then make a determination of the level of cream or no cream, because I think this is just actually perfect in my personal opinion. One of my tasting spoons. It's very hot, so this is a great potato soup in the tradition of my New York Irish Catholic grandmother. She made phenomenal potato soup. I think that this would be lovely as a warm soup with some fried prosciutto cracklings in the center. But I also believe that if we stir in some cream, that this could be a very traditional Vichyssoise. Live life, taste life. And by that I mean take what you think is a tradition and change it with a little bit of a twist. Simple meals with a twist. Cheers.